Okay, so today we're going to find the scale factor by using one of the lanes. So our example here is that we have a teacher that is projecting her notes onto a large screen. So this is the dimensions of the original paper. It's listed in inches, and we're going to find out what the scaled factor is for the projection, which is this one here. So the first thing we need to do is convert and make sure that our units are the same. So far we see that we have inches and we have feet. So we would possibly need our reference sheet if you don't already know what the conversion is between feet and inches. And remember, when we're looking at our conversion sheet, we're looking to find the item. Give me a second. Let me make sure that I can lock this. All right. So what we're looking for is the item that is on the same line. So we're looking for feet and inches. If I'm looking for feet and inches, I see feet and inches, feet and inches, feet and inches. Oh, they're right here. So 1 foot is the same as 12 inches. So what we need is to look at one side and make sure that we're using the corresponding side for the scaled or the original object, whichever one it is that we're converting. It does not matter if you convert from feet to inches or from inches to feet, you're going to still get to come out with the same scale factor. So I am going to use inches to feet. I know that 1 foot is equal to 12 inches, and this is where we go back to our proportional relationships. So I'm going to make this 1 foot is equal to 12 inches. We're saying that that's proportional to X amount of feet and blank inches. So notice that our units are the same. Now we're going to convert the feet into inches. Okay, so I'm going to convert our feet, which is 4.25. And I'm going to find out how many inches that is. That way we'll have it in the same unit. So if I use the swing method, remember we're going to look and see well, I could go either way. I can go from smaller to larger. I'm going from 1 to 4.25, which means I'm getting larger. If I'm getting larger, it lets me know that I need to multiply. So 1 times something needs to give me 4.25. So that 4.25, I know that any number times 1 is always going to be the number itself. So this is 4.25. And remember that under the swing method, whatever we do to the top, we do to the bottom if we're going in the same direction. To determine which way we need to go, we need to find out what we know and work our way towards what we don't know. So I'm going to go from here to here. I am going in the same direction from left to right on both of those. And so now I'm going to use the same operation and the same quantity. Okay, so I have 12 times 4.25. And if we use our calculator, if I use my calculator, I have 12 times 4.25. That gives me 51. Okay, so what that means is X is equal to 51 inches. Okay, so we know that that's going to be 51 inches. So what it's basically telling us is that if we're looking at that paper and we look at the projection, I see that this is 8.5 inches, and that is the same thing as 51 inches. So I'm going to use the same side. Okay, I cannot use the side over here for the 5.5 feet because they are not on the same sides. So I'm going to use these two here. They are in the same unit. So now what we need to do is find our scale factor. So when we talk about finding our scale factor, the formula for that is going to be y, I'm sorry, the scale over the actual is going to be equal to k. Okay, and so if we look at our scale, which we're talking about, we can go back to here. We're talking about our scale and our actual. I always like to make sure that I label which one is the scale and which one is the actual or the original. So I'm going to call this our actual. This is going to be our scale. Okay. And so what that means is that my scale is 51. So I'm going to put a 51 here on the top. And the actual is 8.5. So I'm going to put 8.5 here. Okay. And then again, when I take this 51 Divided, we understand that a fraction or ratio is just using division to find out what the unit rate is going to be. So I'm going to say 51 divided by 8.5, and that gives me 6. Okay, so what that means is my scale factor, K, is 6. Okay, and there is no unit when we talk about scale factor because they cancel out. So we're only talking about a quantity. Okay, and so what this tells me is that I enlarged my original 6 times to make it this size. That's what the scale factor means.